Call this special meeting of the Eufaula City Council to order. Just want to remind everybody that this is not a public hearing, so we will not be taking comments from the audience. We may take some from the city attorney and the mayor off of that. I'd like to take a roll call.
Mr. Powers.
Present.
Mr. Knight.
Present.
Mr. Bent.
Present.
Mr. Cobbs.
Present.
Ms. Flurry.
Present.
What, now you're saying that, I'll go ahead and do mine. If you do yours, we'll do them all at the same time, but mine's not that way. I usually do mine beforehand, but thank you for reminding me off of that. Before we get into the formal part of the business today, I'd like to note, and most of you are already aware of this, it's been in the paper, we had a tragedy here at the city with the loss of one of our employees, Joe Jernigan. Happened while he was working on his job for the city. I think that's the first time we've had an employee fatality on the job since maybe Ted Dotson back in the 80s as HR directors here. So two things. He was an excellent employee, long service to the community, worked in the street department. He worked with the truck that does the dumpsters. I believe his supervisor, I was not at the funeral, I was out of the country, but at his funeral, you all can correct me if I'm wrong, but his supervisor said that his report was flawless. We're fortunate to have city employees like this, and this is a true public servant. And what I'd like to do is, we don't have an invocation plan, but I'd like to take a minute, just a silent prayer in reverence of Joe Jernigan. Thank you. Mr. Knight and I were talking before the council meeting this morning on this topic, and we're going to pass an envelope for a little love offering up here, and we'll send it around. I know not everyone brings money to the council meeting because we don't usually pay at the council meeting, but we will then pass it out through the audience. Anyone who's so inclined who'd like to give a love offering to the Jernigan family, feel free to do so, but feel no obligation to do so either. So we will do that. And then with the first order of business, what we're going to do is we're going to go into a brief executive session. I know some of you have been sitting here and waiting, but we need to go into an executive session and have the city attorney brief us on some legalities pertaining to the prospects of additional legal action. So I'll need to have a state the purpose for the executive session.
Yes, a declaration that to discuss with the attorney the legal ramifications of legal actions pending and legal actions anticipated.
Could I have a motion to go into executive session?
So moved. Second.
Second. Motion and second. Just for everyone's information, we cannot take any action in executive session. We will return back to this room. We're going to go over to a conference room in the police department. We'll be briefed, and we'll come back in here. I do not anticipate this taking long because we've had some other briefings on this previously. But we will re-adjourn back here. And now I'll take a vote. All those, any questions or discussion before we do? All those in favor of adjourning into a executive session signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed likewise, motion carries unanimously. Thank you for your patience. First item on the agenda is consider authorizing the city attorney to protect city property by filing a lawsuit in circuit court to stop AlDOT and the contractor from moving ahead on their project. I'm going to pass the gavel over to Mr. Knight. If you'll just call the question so I can participate in the motion.
Okay.
Second, if you mind.
Okay. At this time, we'll ask the questions for all of those that want to ask questions concerning that.
I'd like to make a motion that we authorize the city attorney to file suit against AlDOT to protect the property and the ownership of the meeting.
I second it.
All right, it's been properly moved in second. Any question? Do we have any other?
I'd like to make a motion.
We'll do this motion first.
All in favor of it? Let us know by the word of aye.
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 All right, that's two. Have another motion?
I'd like to make a motion to this lawsuit to drop it there today. Reject there today.
We don't have one to reject at this time.
Do we have a second?
Said we don't have a lawsuit.
We don't have a lawsuit. We didn't approve one.
He made the motion to.
And it was not passed. So we'll pass that back. Thank you. If no other business coming before the council, stand adjourned.